Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hang on. Got a short going on in the background. Let me fix that. There we go. Cool. Hello, hello, hello. Right, I'm gonna see if I can push through and complete the MSQ today. Got the weekend to do it, so I'm gonna continue on. Katua regards you with concerned curiosity. I have trust you gained an insight into the use of souls in Alexandria. It's shocking, I know. I was overwhelmed myself at first. I expect you'll need some time to digest it all. But for now, let's head back to Earth and Sky. Because we've just had the update that about the tech for recovering souls and storing memories in the cloud and using the currency of souls. They can, if you die, you can carry on living, get a raise. Basically an auto-raising technology, which means we don't need healers anymore, so... Let's head back to Earth and Sky. At this rate, there's something that I want to discuss with everyone. Let's take a moment before we head into the tunnel. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Back to the cave. I'm sorry for delaying us, but I have some thoughts I need to share. In both technology and values, it's plain there's a wide gulf between Tloliol and Alexandria. And while Zoral Jar knows everything about us, we hardly know anything about what he's become. Indeed, we haven't seen what lies within that enormous tower, Everkeep. So, here I'd like to make a proposal. That is, we work with Chichoya and her people. We need to learn as much as we can about the enemy. The quickest way would be to join hands with Oblivion. We've only just met them, I know, and we shouldn't be too quick to trust. But the fact remains that they share our desire to stop Zoral Jar. Sphene, too, claims to be at odds with the King of Resolve. May I ask why you would cooperate with Oblivion instead? It's simple, really. Their leaders are Unveil's mother. Meanwhile, whatever Sphene may feel, she's a ruler of this nation. There's a greater risk working with her, and less reason to take her at her word. Fair point, and knowing Zoral Jar, we must assume that this arrangement with Sphene was not made without some consideration. All I know is that it would be heartening to have allies in this strange realm. I think everyone would agree that any help we can get would be welcome. Hold on. There's no guarantee that it's actually my mother behind the machine. Without seeing her in the flesh, you can't rule out the possibility of a ploy. If it turns out to be a trap, we endanger not only ourselves, but everyone in Tloliol. As you may say, we have no proof that it is really Chikeya. But I make my proposal in full awareness of this. Whether we go into war or striving for peace, we need to learn as much as we can. Otherwise we can't hope to do anything meaningful. As it stands, we know too little about this realm. We need to remedy that. We need to study the enemy, and when time comes, strike down Zoroljar, for good and all. What's more, I trust you, Arenville. You've always had great instincts, honed from your time training under your mother. What if I'm wrong? What if sentiment is clouding my judgment? Yeah, let's trust Erenville as well. That's always the way with it with you. Fine, if you're set on this, I'll say no more. Then it's settled. Let's head inside and secure ourselves some new allies. Shikuya, there's something I need to tell you and your people. We came here for no other reason than to strike down Zoroljar. But I thought he was your brother. Do you really mean to kill your own kin? My kin invaded our nation and murdered our people. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to bring him to account. I am prepared to do what I must. I won't hesitate when the time comes. Like us, you and yours oppose Zoroljar. In light of this, I propose that we work together to stop him, once and for all. I realize that this is sudden. That it's a gamble to trust as someone you've only just met. But I would trust in the conviction of anyone who shares my goal. So fight with me. I beg you. As you say, our goals align. And I don't doubt your resolve in the least. If you hadn't proposed working together, I would have done so instead. Truth be told, it's been a tough going at it alone. While we've gathered ample intelligence, we don't have the strength to take decisive action. Besides, how can we not trust in you? Only my son is with you. My only son is with you. My fussy little bum-bun. He's all the reason I need. Then it's decided. Here's to a fruitful collaboration. Thank you, Chair, everyone. Together we'll achieve great things. I'm sure of it. Then let's not waste any more time. You've been wondering about Zoroljar's whereabouts. Is there a palace inside that tower? After a fashion, the king resides in the uppermost levels. But while Queen Sveen has a penchant for going out in public, he seldom shows himself. What's more, his movements are highly classified. Not even his commanders are privy to that information. If anyone knows where he's at any given time, it could only be the Queen. Even if we don't know his whereabouts, Zoroljar will eventually march on Tlolial again. That is when we could go after him. The drawback is we'd have to wait for the invasion to happen. Innocents would be put in harm's way. There's also the possibility that he'll leave everything to his minions, and not command the army in person. No, he'll take to the field. What makes you so certain? My brother has always yearned to surpass our father. That's why he attacked Tololio. After waiting for 30 years, the first thing he wanted to do was demonstrate his newfound strength. But killing Papa didn't satisfy him, so now he's bent on proving himself stronger than me and Kona, who bested him in the rites of succession. He challenged me to strike him down. He wants to show everyone that he's superior to the Dawn Servant, and he won't let his minions deprive him of the pleasure. Then why hasn't he appeared and given you your charge? Surely he's aware of our presence here. At that I can only guess. Perhaps he wants to dazzle us with his wondrous realm, but if he won't deign to appear, then we'll force him to do so. Even as we gather intelligence, we make no move to attack him. Show absolutely no interest in a confrontation. Knowing him, he'll tire of waiting and turn his attention to Kona instead. He'll attack Tololial again, like he said he would. I see. If you believe this is the best approach, then we have no objections. Any campaign against Tololial requires the Rule Jar lead his forces through Vanguard. We'll have lookouts keep an eye on it day and night. Such a strategy is certainly viable. If we're proceeding with it, though, we should warn those outside. Indeed, they'll need time to prepare their defences. I should be glad to coordinate our efforts. I'm already in regular contact with Yustola. I'll make sure to keep our comrades appraised of developments. You can leave Vanguard to us. We'll send word of the first sign of movement. It seems we have a plan. While we wait for Sorojal to move, you do well to prepare for the battle, and it begins with familiarizing yourselves with the technology that empowers him. To that end, I'll show you to Oblivion's main headquarters. Oh, I thought this was it. You'll be impressed to know that we're located right inside that tower, in the residential district of Solution 9. Hiding a tree in the forest, as it were. The only question is how to get you through that checkpoint. Ah, about that. Sphene said she'd make it so we could enter without issue. She did? Curious. She's not supposed to have such authority over the sentries. If I recall correctly, her words that she would register us as guests. I see. Perhaps we're in the clear then. When you're ready, come and meet me at the tower entrance. Before you head out, give us a moment to introduce ourselves properly, eh? After all, names are good to know when working together. While Oblivion has operatives all over, we're the main crew here. I'm Gyode, the leader of this hideout. Oops. That was silly. Didn't mean to do that. Oh well. They're just introducing themselves, so let's just carry on. Meanwhile, in Everkeep.
You've been consulting with goooo. No matter. I do not know what you are scheming. But when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you acquire, is it not?
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that goooo bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin, I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliola? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family. The memory of my father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing. To kill them is my only recourse. goooo and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. That such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City. Remember, I can easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as our goals align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. goooo, if you are father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tuliola.
What now?
Right, Chikyu is waiting. Let's head to the tower. Ah, no, not the way. It just becomes a dead end. Oh, well, at least I know now. Ah, there you are. If Queen Sphene has registered you as guests, you should be able to march right in. And if she hasn't, then you may have a swarm of Zeraljal's minions to deal with. Nothing for it but to see if Sphene has betrayed us, eh? Thank you for your diligent service, friends. My companions and I would like to pass, if you'd be so kind. Outrunner guide unit identified, registration number verified. 6 accompanying civilians identified, verifying credentials. Credentials verified. Welcome guests of Queen Sphene. What a relief. There you have it. Seems the Queen was true to her word. Follow me, everyone. Solution 9 waits.
Everkeep, a tower of electrope piercing a perpetual shroud of storm clouds. Occupying the 9th level of this 12-tiered structure is a residential district called Solution 9. In so naming their home, what hopes did its founders harbor for it? And did it prove the answer they sought?
Spectacular, isn't it? There are more districts throughout the tower, including industrial ones, but Solution 9 is the largest.
Just being here makes my head spin.
Perfectly natural reaction. A city of shimmering electrodes, replete with strange technologies that cater to every conceivable need. We never dreamed the light back home in Tuliolo. Now, while I go and explain the situation to those in the back room, why not take a moment to explore? I believe lived experiences are far more educational than dry explanations. And you want to know more about Sphene and Zeraljal's dominion, do you not?
I had a feeling you'd be keen.
Just to confirm, while we have been allowed inside, are we also permitted to roam?
Absolutely. As Sphene's registered guest, you'll find you're exempt from the sentry scrutiny. Ah, the elevator to the uppermost level. I wouldn't go near that. But other areas should be fine provided you act like you belong.
All right then, we'll show ourselves around.
Yes. Familiarizing ourselves with the technology here will help us prepare for the battles to come.
Try not to enjoy yourselves too much, or you're liable to attract attention.
Once you've explored to your satisfaction, come to the entrance to True View in the eastern sector. The way from there is a little complicated, so I'll send someone to guide you.
Oh, look, they've got a
Understood.
little
I'll see you
oasis up
later.
top there. Some greenery inside this
I
tower
shall
of
speak with
technology.
the residents. Perhaps one of them will recognize the earring.
What's with this place? How can this all be the inside of a tower?
So, what aren't you telling me? Where are you?
That I can't reveal yet. Precautions, you understand. Just know that I'm safe. But come, tell me about your adventurer friend. You seem to have a great deal of faith in her. You must have been through a lot together.
You might say that. For instance, we found the entrance to the Golden City.
Wait, what? You did? Elenasphere, why didn't you mention this sooner?
You want to explore together? It's not that I'm scared or anything. Everything is just so different from home, is all.
Tower's inside me. Tower's inside a tower. I see it, but still can't believe it. For now, I say we proceed straight ahead. If we feel like we're getting lost, we can always turn around and go back the way we came. Oh wait, there's right. No need to do the main tower first, don't we? Ooh, that's a cool design, like that. Ugh, a crossroads already. This place is too much. I've no idea where we should go. Right, I've made up my mind. Let's head to that building there.
Ah! There you are! Lamati!
Sphene!
I was worried you might have had trouble at the checkpoint, but I see everything went according to plan.
Well, that's thanks to you.
Now, I know you've scarcely arrived, but I have a request to make of you.
Oh, a request, you say?
Yes, an important one. I'll say it plain. I want you to make peace with Zeralja.
What? I thought you said you weren't on his side.
We have come no closer to seeing eye to eye, nor do I condone his methods. Be that as it may, I don't want you to fight him. I don't want you to regret a decision made in anger and haste. Unequipped with regulators as you are, the risk is too great.
I appreciate your concern, but you ask the impossible. Zeralja murdered our father. His minions slaughtered our countrymen. He will never renounce his war. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to stop him. I know you love your people too, and so you must understand how I feel. Why I cannot, will not back down.
I do understand. All too well. Let me say only this, then. Zeralja will use any means to win. If you would protect your people, return to them at once and prepare. Prepare as best you can. It may ring hollow coming from the queen of an enemy nation. But, unlike me, you still have the power to determine your own fate.
You really are a curious one. Look, you needn't worry for us. We have dependable comrades holding the fort in Tulihiola. They'll keep everyone safe, so we can devote our attention to affairs here.
Please. So you have comrades on whom you can rely. I envy you.
You know, we'd like to learn more about you.
About me?
To be frank, we're still not sure whether or not you're trustworthy. So, if you have a moment, would you show us around the district? That way, we can get to know you better.
You're asking me, the Queen, to show you around? Oh, but I jest. I'm flattered that you've taken an interest in me. Very well. I shall be your guide. You're my guests, after all, and teaching you about my realm would be a pleasure in and of itself. If you like, I can introduce you to my citizens, too. I consider them family, as you do yours.
By all means, we're in your capable hands.
That you are. This will be an enjoyable and enlightening tour, I promise.
Sveen stands ready to take you on a tour of Solution 9. Let's begin then, shall we? I must say, I'm really grateful. This place is so vast and confusing, I didn't even know where to begin. While the district may seem daunting in size and structure, all key facilities are located near ley nodes, what you call aetherites. Remember this, and you won't lose your way. Now then, seeing as it is right here, I'll show you the Nexus arcade first. Please, follow me. This complex is a home to all manner of shops, from food and daily necessities to technological conveniences. You can find most everything here. Everkeep's interior is vast, as you've observed. This arcade makes it possible for people to acquire what they need in one centralized location. Amazing! How do you get to the upper levels? I don't see stairs. Do you see the glowing pattern over yonder? That is an automatic conveyor. Such contraptions are found throughout Everkeep, allowing us to swiftly move between faraway places. That will spare us some walking. Are they also made from that strange metal? What is it? Yes, the conveyors are powered by electro. As a matter of fact, the ore is integrated into just about everything in Everkeep, even the floors and walls. By etching arcane circuits upon it, electrode can be used to convert lighting energy to those of other elements. In doing so, we can achieve various effects. For instance, a conversion to wind produces flotation, which is required for the propulsion of our flying vehicles. A conversion to fire, meanwhile, produces light and heat, and it is employed in devices such as street lamps and heaters. There are even self-heating cups that keep your drink warm. Can you make a drink cold if you convert it to ice instead? You certainly can. Our vending machines do just that. What's more, multiple energies can also be combined to produce some clever effects. For instance, by manipulating the air and with wind while projecting light with lightning, it's possible to alter one's appearance. It's almost scary what you can do with electro. If such wondrous material existed in our world, I imagine everyone would be fighting over it. That's what happened, isn't it? This shop over here, what does it sell? Ah, yes. Let's go take a look. I dare say you will find it interesting. This shop sells food. Those are the items on the counter. That's food? I can't imagine what they taste like. I thought you might be surprised. Your countrymen were too in the beginning. Come, you must sample something. Choose one and I will purchase it. Welcome, friends. How lucky you are for Her Majesty to treat you. The 5 items on display are the most popular. I recommend one of them if this is your first time. What is that? Sack of pink hexagons. Liquid filled pouch. What's that? Ah, the reviving tonic. I take it. You're thirsty. The flavor is sublime blend of sweet and salty, and it stays fresh over 10 years thanks to a special container. Yeah, sure. While they're all very tempting, I'm going to have the steak. I'm absolutely starving. Thank you for your custom. This being Her Majesty's treat, it's bound to taste all the better for it. Say, would you mind sampling some of the selections here? And now? It's been a long time since we've had newcomers, and I'd love to see your reactions. This is a great chance to learn about Alexandrian culture, Nima. Let's dig in. Alright, here I go. Amazing. I've never had any meat like this before. It's tender like chicken, but flavoursome like Ronique. And the spices give it just the right amount of kick. I could eat this every day. Huh. Don't mind them. They're just happy to see your honest reaction. And how about you? Haha. It's always such a pleasure. My thanks for humoring me. This does take me back. Though it was chaotic when the people of Tololeo first arrived, we endeavoured to learn about one another and embraced our differences. Ah, right. What about you, Sphene? Aren't you have something to eat too? I appreciate the thought, but I'm fine for now, thank you. Alright, but what's your favorite food, if you don't mind me asking? My favorite food? Why do you wish to know this? Because I want to get to know you better. Why else? The more you know someone, the more you grow fond of them. That's what my old man believed, and my experiences have led me to believe the same. My favorite food? Is it such a difficult question? I'm sorry, it's just when I think of those who labor to bring us the food, I find I can't settle on one thing. I thought I was indecisive, but you're something else. Indecisive? Perhaps I am, but you didn't need to laugh about it. I don't know about you, but I'm satisfied. Let's keep moving. Very well. Next, I was thinking of showing you the residential sector. But it's in part so I can tend to personal matters. It's a visitation, to be precise, and I believe it will be educational for you as well. Would the two of you mind accompanying me? Not at all. Wonderful. Let me know when you have seen enough here, and we'll make it our way. Oh, that's a different summoning bell. They finally put a different design out there. Ready? Then let's head to the residential sector. It lies to the southwest. As we walk, I would be glad to tell you about any places of interest that we may come upon. This is Mosaic, a cafe. Here you can buy drinks and enjoy to enjoy while you relax. I see. In Telolio there's a similar establishment called Spalavtai. That's seashell in keeping the local done. Is there a story behind the name Mosaic? There is. In our contingent, the races are named for stones. There's the Hayun, who resembles somewhat to Nawatawa, the tall and graceful Eldite, and the diminutive and affable Milala. When they all gather here, they appear as a mosaic of colours. Thus did the founder choose to name the cafe. Heh, that's nice. If they served tacos here, it'd be perfect. Tacos? A traditional Torali land dish. And one of my favourite foods. You must try it one day. Oh, yes, definitely. We'll make it happen once we've restored peace to Lalio. Right, let's continue on. It's a nice little chill area. Whoops. Check to see where all the aetherites are. Ah, right. That's the one we're going after. And here we are. These buildings are where our citizens live. They're massive. Each one is bigger than the palace. They have to be. But just about all Alexandrians have apartments here. Lest you wonder, I'm here to visit some people. There are apartments in the building on the left here, residential radius 914. Residential radius? That's right. Come, the door opens automatically. This is the lobby, a common area for residents. I see, and what does that machine there do? Ah, the concierge. They look after the residents. If you require assistance or have questions, they would be glad to assist. Is that so? I've no shortage of questions, but I'll direct them at you for now. By all means, you may consider me your personal concierge. Naturally, in fact, many of our countrymen make their home here. No matter your origin or race, occupation or regulator usage, all Alexandria citizens are eligible for an apartment. This includes those whom you met who work in the outskirts. You've taken care of everyone for 30 years? I'm truly grateful. Hello, Isadora. Your Majesty, You came. I have friends with me today. Is that alright? Of course. Friends with the Queen are friends of ours. Please, make yourselves at home. How has Milos been? Or Milos been? There's been no change, but the symptoms are thankfully mild today. Hello, Milos. Have you missed me? My son was born with Levin sickness, a severe etheric imbalance towards lightning. As a result, he suffers from paralysis. He cannot walk and struggles to speak. For a blessing, he still has his hearing, and even on bad days, he can communicate with his eyes. I see. Sphene visits often, does she? She does. Milos simply adores her. He sometimes even manages a smile when she's here. What of yourself, Isadora? How are things holding up? You needn't worry about me, Your Majesty. You always make time for us. We have everything we need. I'm glad to hear that, but you mustn't strain yourself, understood? There's nothing you could do for him? Perhaps a treatment with souls, or... Unfortunately, no. While souls can revive those who've met with an accident, they cannot reverse the effects of old age and illness. Truth be told, many children are born like Milos. The illness has existed for generations, but we've been unable to find a cure. The cause is quite clear though. The excess lightning in the environment. It's no coincidence the number of cases has risen dramatically these past 30 years. It's all my fault. What was that? I'm sorry, Isadora, but I must be going. I promise to make it a proper visit next time, with treats to share. There's no need to apologize, Your Majesty. If it weren't for you, Milos and I wouldn't still be here. Thank you, Queen Sphene. It's my pleasure, Miles. I'll be back soon, so be a good boy, for your mother and for me. Many thanks for accompanying me on my visit. The illness is part of life in Alexandria, and I thought you should know about it. We'll find a cure one day, mark my words. We'll make it so unfortunate children like Milos smile again. Well, let's continue the tour, shall we? Look, you obviously have duties to attend to, citizens to look after. We can stop here if you like. No. I do this because I want to, so please do not worry. Next, I'll show you one of the district's most vital facilities, a place called Resolution. To reach it, we need to go by way of Laynode 9, where the Aetherite is situated. I'll have a look around here quickly. There are steps. Oh, oh, the door opens. You can go in the resident. Oh, look at that little chocobo figure. Can you go into the other resident's home? Is that the only one you can go into? Ah, I didn't realise there's maintenance at 12:30. Okay. Until 4:30. Okay. It's not too bad. So, yeah, I'll still probably complete it by the end of today. I'll have a gap in the middle of the day though. The conveyor ahead will transport you to the government sector, where Resolution is located. The markings on the conveyor indicate its direction. There is a pair just like it on the other side. Is it safe? Extremely. There's no need to be afraid. Who said I was afraid? Come on, Nima. And here we are, Resolution, the operational heart of Solution 9. From Resolution, we oversee the running of the district and provide essential services to citizens, such as welfare support and job introduction. It's quicker to show than tell, so let's proceed inside.
Strange contraptions everywhere you look. What's that?
An infusion station. It dispenses souls in exchange for credits. Through hard work, citizens can obtain the peace of mind provided by spare souls. It's the way of life for Alexandrians and has been for quite some time. But I imagine it must be difficult for outsiders to comprehend.
That's putting it lightly. To be honest, it sounds disturbing. Still, I won't dismiss it out of hand. Practices like these don't arise from nothing. There's a reason why your culture is the way it is, and I'd like to understand. Won't you tell us some of your realm's history?
Very well. Be warned, though, that it may take a while. In the distant past, over 1,000 years ago it said, lightning energy began to swell in our world. According to ancient records that date back around 8 centuries, the rainy season spanned a quarter of the year, during which time severe thunderstorms ravaged the land. 4 centuries later, this season had lengthened to nearly half the year. The trend continued, with our ancestors spending longer and longer languishing beneath storm clouds. Crops failed and livestock starved. But amidst this growing desperation, a miraculous material was discovered that promised salvation: electrope.
The stuff that's used everywhere here.
Indeed. One day, when out inspecting a forest after lightning had caused a fire, a villager came upon a curious black ore none had seen before. Testing revealed that the ore possessed a singular property. It could store lightning and convert it to other energies. In that instant, the scourge of endless storms became a blessing. Dubbed electrope, the ore found use in myriad inventions and dramatically improved people's lives. So much so, in fact, that all nations soon became dependent upon it, despite the difficulty of obtaining it in quantity. Supply was chronically scarce, and when nations couldn't meet their needs with their own deposits, some resorted to taking electrope from others. Fighting was isolated and sporadic until electrope came to be used in warfare, first in the weaponry of invaders, then in the countermeasures of defenders, and then in every aspect of combat where an advantage might be had. This served only to exacerbate the ore shortage, leading to further escalation. Before long, the entire world was engulfed in a terrible war known as the Storm Surge. As the war came to a head, Alexandria's neighbor, Lindblum, committed its stores of electrope to the production of a weapon of mass destruction. They deployed it on the front lines and triggered a calamity of frightful magnitude. Not even their own scientists had anticipated the force of the lightning that was unleashed. The energy inundated the entire continent, laying it to waste.
So that's how your world came to be this way.
You truly know a great many things that I don't. I should like to learn about you too sometime. But to continue the tale, the people of Alexandria had already lost much to the war. They lost almost everything else to the Levin. Those who survived bore deep scars, tormented by the memory of loved ones taken too soon. Though they yet lived, the cruel spectre of death was with them always. Seeking a solution, our scientists turned once more to electrope, and after extensive research, they developed the means to preserve memory and soul. Physical death isn't the end. So long as our memories endure, we may live on. This belief sustained us then, and it sustains us now, granting us comfort.
That's quite a tale.
Your Majesty, help me! I beg you, help me!
What's the matter?
I've got no souls left. Not a single one! But the lot at Soul Supply refused to give me any! Please, you must do something!
My apologies, Your Majesty. This man, he does no work. Instead, he drinks his days away on Trueview. He has only himself to blame if he has no credits for souls.
That's not true! I'm a fighter at the Arcadian. Or rather, I was. I haven't been allowed to fight because of the King's decree. It isn't my choice.
I see. You're a brave warrior of the arena. I want to help you, I sincerely do. But I cannot give you preferential treatment.
Then open up the Arcadian again, so I can fight!
I'm sorry, but that's not my decision to make. The king requires feral souls for war. He doesn't wish for them to be expended on amusements.
You're useless! A queen in naught but name!
Insolent wretch! How dare you take that tone with Her Majesty?
It's quite all right. Such things don't bother me, nor do I think ill of this man. Hear me. Though I cannot grant you a soul, I mean it when I say I want you to live. I love all of you equally, dearly. You are as family to me, and it pains me to see you deny yourself hope. I want you to find a happiness all your own, even if you must grow it from the smallest seed of joy. Out there, somewhere, is a reason for you to smile again. We all need to vent our frustrations from time to time. I will always be willing to lend an ear.
Yes, Mum. Of course. Even without a spare soul, I suppose I'm fine as long as I stay in Solution 9. I apologize for my rudeness. Good day to you.
Keep your chin up, my friend. And when you feel better, I'm sure you'll find another way to apply your talents. I'm sorry you had to see that. Let's keep moving, shall we? Right, I believe we visited all the main facilities. With that, I declare our tour concluded.
That man from before, does that sort of thing happen often?
Somewhat. It's unavoidable. Hardships are a fact of life. Our soul management system has sustained our realm for generations, but it isn't without flaws. For one, people have become accustomed to having spare souls. Without them, they feel vulnerable and anxious. Some claim it may also have contributed to a decline in births.
Just thinking out loud, but would it be possible to do away with the system?
No.
I know it isn't easy to change one's beliefs and way of life. The Mamulja had their reasons for their reliance on blessed siblings, much as you have yours for souls. But if we defeated Zorolja, you'd be able to make all the decisions, right? Then we could work together to fix things, restore your realm to where it belongs, and see where we can go from there.
Listen to me. There's something that I need to tell you.
What is it?
Actually, never mind. It's nothing of import. Well, it was lovely showing you around.
Of course. Of course. Thanks so much for the tour. We've learned not only about your realm, but you as well. For now, our priority is Zorolja. But once we've dealt with him, perhaps I can return the favor and show you to Lihiolal.
I'd like that very much. It seems I've no choice but to continue down this path. Forgive me, Val Wuklamat, but I must disappoint you.
What was Sophine wanting to tell us, I wonder? Well, it can wait for another time. We've been exploring for a while now, and should probably go to Cthulhu's meeting point. That'll be back the way we came, I think. Which... There's loads of stuff I've only got 3 at the moment. Right. That's 3. Right. Let's make sure we grab the information center. Sveen generally cares for her people, and I can respect her for that. And thanks to her tour, I've come to better understand the lives of Alexandrians. They don't feel so strange and distant anymore. So, we're supposed to go to a place called True View in the eastern sector. This conveyor ought to take us there. You know, once you get used to it, they're actually kind of fun. Come on, Nima. This is the right place, you think? I don't see the others though. Well, rather than sitting and waiting, we might as well explore a bit more. Huh? Nima, look over there. Mujal child. What are they doing here? You notice too, right? The resemblance of Zorulja. The blue scales of Bunewa, with the features of Hubiko. This can't be a coincidence. At any rate, it wouldn't do to leave such a small town on their own. Come on, let's go after them. Oops. This establishment caters to souls seeking their true path. As a matter of fact, the services of a fortune teller are in rather high demand of late. I'm afraid we're completely booked for the coming months. Fortune teller. Oh yeah, she's reading tarot cards. It's very blue. Wait, that's the GPU building. That's where the trials, the latest trials are going to happen, aren't they? So there's going to clearly be something about going in here. Oh, the food's actually sizzling in here. Sausages. Some sort of hot pot. More sausages, burgers. Yeah, that's similar to the other room I went in. So this is true of you. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but it does seem lively. That building is just about the only one that isn't lit up. Not open for business at the moment, I guess. Ah! I didn't see you there. Listen, we don't mean you any harm. We just want to talk. It's a bit odd, don't you think? They ran off when we approached, only to suddenly reappear. Could it be they want to take us somewhere? Is that the way of it? You want us to follow you? So it is. Alright then, lead the way. Is this where you want to bring us? What is this place? If you're meant to relax here, it isn't working for me. Hey, what's your name? So, you're still not inclined to talk. You'll only talk if he's completely comfortable with you. You know him? After a fashion, but never mind that. How about something to wet your whistle? Adorable as you are, it's on the house. I can recommend our special. Her Majesty. I'll prepare one without liquor for the boy too. Thanks but no thanks. We're supposed to meet a friend named Kachuya. But we ran into the child on the way, and he led us here. Oh, so you're with Kakuya? In that case, go and have a chat with Big Tassos over there. He'll show you to a fun place. What about him? I don't think he's in the mood to talk, so he can tend to the bar with me. This is taking a turn for the strange, but I don't think we're walking... But you don't think we're walking into a trap, do you? Damned, this doesn't have suspicious all over it. What is this fun place meant to be? Is Kachuya there? Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out. This area is normally off limits, but Kachuya told us about you. Just follow the corridor and head into the room at the end. Let's go, Nima. Whatever happens, you won't catch me being surprised.
Wonderful! They're here!
Hello.
We've only just arrived ourselves.
Amazing.
I bid you welcome to the back room. Oblivion's humble headquarters.
A hideout tucked behind a drinking hole. Brings back memories, doesn't it?
Our members here are mainly creators and adapters. That is, scientists and engineers who specialize in electro... They use their skills to provide support to our field operatives. Geralt, Shale, be so kind as to give our friends an overview of your duties.
Well, all this provisioning. Gotta have supplies to fight a good fight, ain't ya? Luckily, we got the tools to craft most of what we need.
Gathering intelligence is another vital aspect of our work. Everkeep's core system is a veritable treasure trove of information. You just need to know how to get in and find it. We also handle surveillance and communications, watching the enemy's movements and coordinating our own, that sort of thing.
And among all our activities, we spend a fair bit of effort investigating preservation. The organization credited with laying the foundations of electrope technology. From the soul management system to Everkeep's design, they're behind just about everything you see here. It'd be no exaggeration to say they made this realm what it is. But their magnum opus was without a doubt the power which was used to join Alexandria to Dural. Interdimensional fusion.
Said power isn't unlike my summoning technique and the magic within Azam's crystal. Yet, though the effect is localized, to be able to fuse realities. Even with my knowledge, I struggle to conceive how it could be possible.
Incidentally, the founders of our group, a husband and wife, were members of preservation at one point. That they opposed the fusing of worlds, and so defected in order to prevent it.
While not entirely unexpected, given what we have seen, this is still quite the revelation.
By the by, that's an interesting earring you have there. A novel way of carrying a data storage device.
What?
Oh, you didn't know? Well, as a precautionary measure against machine infiltration, we scan everyone as they enter. And when we scanned you, we detected a small quantity of electrope. Though it's been dressed up, that earring is a storage device and no mistake. Bought it from a shop here, did you?
No, it isn't bought, but inherited.
So these people sent you through the portal along with the earring?
Do you know aught of them?
Listen, Cryo. The husband and wife who founded our order. It's believed that they were Malala. Though we have no evidence at present, we can't rule out the possibility that they were your parents, or perhaps close relations. This I posit because they were the very individuals who spearheaded the research into interdimensional fusion. As traitors to preservation, they were relentlessly pursued. If they had a child they feared they couldn't keep safe, entrusting her to the people of another world might have been their best option.
My parents, the founders of Oblivion. Tell me everything you know about them, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Anything and everything.
We don't even know their names, I'm afraid. In a bid to elude preservation's agents, we suspect they erased all trace of themselves. I'm sorry we couldn't be of more help. If you're interested, though, you're welcome to review our accumulated data.
Yes, please. As an individual and member of my order both, I wish to learn as much as possible.
I should also like to peruse the data. Where the joining of realities is concerned, I may well be of service.
Of course. Feel free to peruse to your heart's content.
Thank you.
If you like, I can examine your earring. I have to say, the prospect that it belonged to our founders has me itching to take a look.
I dare say we have enough eyes to pore over your records. Is there any other way we might be productive?
not right now. We're still waiting for Zoralja to make the next move.
In that case, Alice, would you mind accompanying me?
Gladly.
Ah, I've buggered it up again!
Never a moment's peace. Pay him no mind. I don't.
Oi, you two there! One of you give me a hand, would you? Don't matter who.
I just remembered I have matters to discuss with Shale.
No. Run, Nemo, run. Sorry you had to see Miss Passion spilling over. Perhaps when you put your heart and your soul into your craft, you know. And not to be weird or nothing, but I felt a sense of kinship when I saw ye. As if we've met in another life. Any road, as I was saying, I need someone to lend me a hand. I haven't slept for 2 nights now, not a single wink, and I'm ripe to collapse. Can't afford to though, got folks relying on me, see? But if I'm to keep at it, I need you to fetch me a favourite energy tonic. That voucher's good for 2 cans. One for yourself by way of welcome. Can't get enough of the stuff. Can't get the stuff at any old vending machine, no. You need to talk to a bloke named Philemon. You'll find him tenting the bar out on the main strip. Off you go now. Welcome. What are you having? Energy tonics you can't get from vending machines. How dare you suggest that I sell such dangerous stuff? Away with you, and don't come back. Got a voucher. Slip it to me, then. Nice and subtle. Ah, so you're collecting for Gnoll. A can for him and a can for you, eh? Here you go. Yours is formulated for beginners, gentler than the full strength stuff. It's not contraband or anything, so you won't run afoul of the authorities. But if the Radina Consortium made aware of my special selection, it'd be bad for business. Now, seeing as it's your first time, I want you to drink your tonic here, just in case there are side effects. Bottoms up now. Need to make sure it doesn't affect you in any unintended ways. Here, now that's how you do it. Your pulse sort of quickening soon, after which you'll start seeing everything more clearly, and then finally you'll feel a roaring surge of energy. People say it's like growing a pair of rainbow wings. Well, you haven't up and carked it, so hurry along, give Gnault his tonic. He tends to leave it to the last moment, and I expect he's about to keel over. Whoa! Whoa! Superpowered! Wow! Let's go! Woo! Aw. Aw. That's very short-lived. You got the tonic. Give it here, quick. Ah, that's the stuff. Ain't nothing like it to blow the cobwebs right out with a great big kaboom. Awakens something feral in me, it does. Transform me into a remorseless beast that won't stop until it's done what it was born to do. Anyway, sorry for sending you off like on an errand like that. I just can't concentrate without my tonic, you know? And the pile of work only ever gets bigger. Speaking of which, I better get back to it. Those weapons and tools ain't gonna to enhance themselves.
Been meaning to ask about that Mamulja child. Could he be...
Yes. In all likelihood, he's Zoralja's son.
So you think so too? But what is he doing here?
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the Drift Downs a few years ago.
To think he'd cast aside his child.
We can't say for certain who he was born to, or why he was on his own. But he's a blue-scaled Hubigo, and Zoralja is the only other one around. That being the case, everyone assumes they're father and son. Even the boy has put two and two together. This all happened when he was very little, so he has no recollection of his parents. It breaks my heart to think of it.
What's his name?
Gooja. It was my hope that he'd grow up to be a man of principle, like his grandfather.
It's a fine name.
I should mention that the boy is a little unusual. At first, I intended to raise him as my own, but just when I thought he was warming to me, he suddenly disappeared. We searched high and low for several days, and where should he turn up? But in the wilds near Everkeep.
What? It's a miracle he didn't fall prey to fiends.
See? That's another unusual thing. Creatures don't seem to attack him. He could pick his way through the Thunder Yards as if he were on a stroll. On making inquiries, we learned that he had been living alone and receiving food from the people of the outskirts. This became something of a pattern. We track him down and bring him back, only for him to disappear again within a matter of days. He would return to the wilds without fail, and once again rely on the kindness of strangers to survive. Finally, I took the hint and left him be, giving him the solitude he prefers, and lending a hand only when he explicitly asks.
If Guluja is Zoralja's child, that makes him my nephew. Assuming he's willing, I'd be glad to take him in like Papa did for me. But seeing as I'm here to kill his father, I don't know if it would be right.
Who was that?
Oh dear. It's Galulja.
Don't tell me he heard everything.
This is my fault. I asked that he be kept away, but I should have taken more precautions.
I'm going after him. I need to explain.
Wait, Lamachi. I understand your haste, but it'd be best to coordinate a search. Kakiwa, do you have any idea where he might go?
There's no telling, I'm afraid. He could as easily be outside the tower as here in Solution 9.
If those who can fight would search below, my mother and I will scour the district.
Sounds like a plan. Let's get to it.
If Gulurjar is outside the tower, we need to find him as quickly as possible. Even if he's used to getting around on his own, the wilds are still no place for a child. Agreed. While Crowell and Raha continue reviewing the data, the three of us should devote ourselves to the search. Alright, let's head to the base of the tower and take it from there. Oops. Well, here we are at the sides, but where do we even begin? Perhaps someone has caught sight of Galuljar. Let's make inquiries nearby. Good idea. Could you handle the outskirts, Alice? In the meantime, Nemo and I will head beyond that big wall. You spotted those people too, yes? Perhaps they've seen something. Come on. Looks like some sort of salvage yard. Well, let's ask for Glue Jar. Glue Jar isn't here. You know the boy? Have you seen him? Oh, forgive me, I didn't know you were... No offense taken, my name is Tapu. My eyes may be useless, but my ears are sharper for it. I can recognize people by their footfalls, including Galuljar. So he didn't come this way. Where in the world could he be? I do not know your voices. Who are you to Galuljar, and why do you search for him? I'm family, though we are not related by blood. His father is my brother. I've only just met Galuljar, and we haven't had the chance to talk properly. But I'm about to do something that will make him hate me. I wanted a chance to explain. His father is your brother? Then that means you're... Yes, I'm Wuklamot. Valve resolved to Tloliol. And I've journeyed here to bring my brother Zaruljar to account for murdering our people and our father. When all is said and done, Galuljar may want nothing to do with me. Nonetheless, I'll always consider him family. I'll always be there for him, and want him to know that. It tears you apart what you must, to do what you must. The quiver in your voice tells the tale. Galuljar was headed south. There he has a place that is as close to home as he knows. Find and bear your heart to him. Should he in turn bear his heart to you, accept and request his wishes. As Queen Sphene respected ours when she granted us a place in her realm. I will, don't worry. But what do you mean when you say Sphene respected your wishes? Out of concern for our well-being, Her Majesty had urged us to reside inside Everkeep. When we declined, not only did she gracefully accept our decision, she granted us the necessary replies to make our home here. And since then, she has paid us regular visits to see how we fare. That sounds like Sphene, all right. Well, thanks for telling me about Galuljar. I'll find him and then we'll have a good talk. We continue south, it seems. Let's keep our eyes peeled as we make our way. It's the town. And half of it is submerged. The architecture looks nothing like we've seen so far. It's more Charlian. Ah, there. There he is, among the ruins. Only caught the glimpse, but there's no mistaking that tiny silhouette. Let's hurry after him. It'd be a disaster if the building collapsed while he's inside. I only saw him for a moment before he disappeared behind a building, but I'm pretty sure Galorjar was heading further south. I'll contact Alizé on Link Pearl and let her know to join us. I think I got a dungeon coming up. If I could do one more dungeon before the maintenance starts, that would be grand. I've got 50 minutes. Now, let's see. This is the area, but the canals and debris make it hard to get a good view. Let's split up and search. If you could head into the canals, I'll make my way through the streets. When we find Galorjar, let's watch from a distance until he gets to his destination. We wouldn't want to startle him and cause an accident. Gotta be very, very sneaky again. Sneaky, sneak.
come a long way on such short legs. It's a relief he didn't get hurt.
What's here, I wonder? So he's looking after those little ones.
Gululja.
Not another step!
What?
A sentry? Run, Gululja, run!
You know the boy. Who are you? And what do you want?
My name is Wuklamat, and I've come to talk to Gululja.
Is that so?
I'm sorry if I scared you. I want to get to know you better. That's all.
And you, my boy, do you wish to speak with them?
I heard them talking. She said she's going to kill my father.
Villains! I will deal
Yeah.
with them forthwith!
But I want to get to know her too.
I see. If that is your desire, then I shall stand aside.
All right then. Let's talk, you and I. Lots. But, who's the ancient-looking and articulate machine?
If I look ancient, it is because I am. This has been my vessel for no less than 380 years.
Vessel?
Otis is my friend. When I was hungry and sad, he came and looked after me. He cooks for me and teaches me all kinds of things. Like how to read and write and not be noticed by dangerous creatures.
This machine cooks for you.
And teaches you about fiends. What is he exactly?
Ah! How remiss of me. I had neglected to introduce myself. Sir Otis Valona, Lord Captain of the Royal Knights of Alexandria. At your service.
You're captain of the knights?
And there I thought it was Gululja with whom you wished to speak. Not that I'm averse to taking a walk down memory lane. But ere I regale you, we must take our repast.
A meal. Here. I hate to turn down food, but I'd prefer to have this conversation in the back room.
please. I'm really hungry.
All right, all right. A riposte it is.
She's going to spoil her nephew silly. I'll send word to Erenville so the others can stop worrying.
Now, if I might prevail upon your assistance, I shall whip up my most delectable specialty.
So, my new friends, would you enlist your aid? So, my new friends, I would enlist your aid in procuring the ingredients for our repast. After all, the most enjoyable meals are those we make together. We're happy to pitch in, of course. What ingredients do you have in mind? First of all, some yam and pumpkin. The pumpkin of the outskirts should be willing. The people of the outskirts should be willing to share their harvest. You and Galorjar could go and speak to them. Sure, I'll ask for the cast-offs too, as usual. As for Nima and Alize, I would be obliged if you could procure some woolback meat. The creatures can be found grazing on the slopes outside of town. As beef is less readily available, their flesh makes for a good substitute. That of the younger ones especially, as it's more tender and less garny. Consider it done. We'll be back with the meat before you know it. Thank you kindly. In the meantime, I shall see to other preparations. What is this? Am I to understand that you have already procured the meat? Good heavens, you have! And such a choice cut it is besides. 'Tis plain you know how to handle yourself in battle. Were it 400 years ago, I would have recruited you to the Royal Knights. Once Alizé brings her portion, we shall have a glorious bounty to satisfy our growing younglings like yourselves. Indeed, I expect there will be ample leftovers to share with you folk of the drift towns. They always appreciate a warm meal. Now, seeing as you have completed your task so quickly, I have another request to make of you. We've exhausted our supplies of kindling electrope, and I should be grateful if you could search the houses yonder for more. In the Old Kingdom, electrope rations were issued to each citizen, while small fragments may still be found here and there. You can obtain 5 pieces, say at least 1 ought to be what we require, that is. The kind that converts lightning to fire. Galorjal could definitely can identify them by their circuitry. So pray, take them to him. The boy has become quite deft at discerning electrope types, and in a very short time, I might add. Now, off you go, and happy foraging. Oh, whoops. No, you're still there. Go away. Otis says you have electrope for me. Wow, you found a lot. Let's see. This one creates wind. This one's for water. You can tell just like that. I'm impressed. Clever, isn't he? I bet he gets it from his father. Ah, this is it. This converts to fire. It absorbs lots of lightning, so it should be able to kindle a flame easily. Thank you, Nima. Thank you kindly for your assistance. We have everything we need of our past. You have done your part, now I shall do mine. I bid you relax, my friends. The meal will soon be served. This is the kind of things families do, Galujal. We have meals together and talk about what's on our minds. So, you ate with your father? Yes, with them and my brothers. It was mostly a head of resolve, and I doing the talking though. Kona and the head of reason occasionally joined in, and Shirojal spoke when he was spoken to. You said you have two papas. Does that mean one of yours and the other is my father? No. Both are our father. He's what people call blessed siblings, a Mamuljar with two heads. Zaruljar is his true-born child, while Kona and I were adopted and don't share the same blood. But that doesn't make us any less family. What matters is that our hearts are connected. The head of resolve told me that. Family? Do you have someone like that too? A person you think is family, even though you don't share the same blood? That's a good question. What about you? I'd like to meet them one day. So, Goluja, I'm hoping that we could be family, you and I. Won't you tell me about yourself? You really want to know about me? I do. I want to know all about you. The things you love, the things you hate, anything and everything. I want to know all about you too. That reminds me, we were hoping to hear your story too, Otis. As you wish, but be forewarned, mine is a tale that will be longing recounting. It was before lightning had altered the world, that I was appointed Lord Captain of the Royal Knights. We're talking about hundreds of years prior to the calamity, right? Indeed. Earlier still than when I assumed this mechanical form. 444 years ago, to be precise. Then you used to be a normal person. Oh yes, I was once flesh and blood like you. I proudly served as a knight of Alexandria. So, rather than a machine that behaves like a person, you are an actual person. How is this possible? It is only natural you are confused. Hear my tale to the end, and all shall become clear. The foremost duty of the royals' knights was the protection of the royal family. In my time, that was their majesties, the king and queen, and their only child, Her Highness, the princess. By then, every nation of our star was embroiled in some manner of conflict over electrope. Thus was our kingdom drawn into the war with its neighbour. That war was the catalyst for the great calamity that altered the environment. Countless countrymen lost their lives amidst the chaos, the king and queen among them. For our blessing, we were able to protect the princess, who then rose to the occasion and brought hope to her people in those trying times. So kind-hearted was a young queen that, at her behest, we even took in refugees from the enemy nation. But sadly her reign was cut short. Like many others, her body had been ravaged by lightning, and one day she collapsed and passed away. How tragic. Aye, Neri was their citizen whose eyes remained dry, and many moon was spent constructing the great tomb worthy of her memory. Yet I clung to hope still, for while Her Majesty was on her deathbed, the kingdom's finest scientist has successfully extracted her soul. Did we hear right? Extracted her soul? Our flesh may wither and die, but so long as we are remembered, we may live on. This age-old belief had always comforted our people, but as casualties mounted in the wake of the calamity, we sought to make it into a reality through the power of electrope. In time, we succeeded in developing a means to preserve the soul, and it was used to spare the Queen eternal death. Yet it wasn't enough to simply prevent the soul's departure, for the ultimate goal was to recreate a person as they were in life, and this required their memories to be further extracted from their soul. It took many more years of research to make this possible, by which time I'd become an old grey man with my days numbered. I did not hesitate to volunteer myself as a test subject for the procedure. So it was that I attained this vessel, and by my successful rebirth, I paved the way for those who are recreated from the memories of the departed. The Endless, they are called. If your tale is true, then the queen that your people brought back to life. Oh, so you know Her Majesty well. My description of her boundless kindness must have paled in comparison to what you no doubt felt in her presence. I haven't met her myself, I confess. Not since assuming my current form. Wouldn't want to frighten the living daylights out of her. The Endless, so all this time Sphene wasn't alive. She lives, yet she does not. 'Tis admittedly a difficult distinction to make. Having inherited the memories of the departed soul, an Endless feels, thinks, and acts precisely as that person would. In that sense, I believe they are alive. The Alexandrians know about this, right? It can't have gone unnoticed that Sphene is perpetually youthful. No one really knows about the Endless. People who wear regulators don't even think about death. Everyone sees that the Queen doesn't change, but they just accept it. To them, it's just who she is. While there should be as many endless as those who have died, I believe they are limited in where they can exist. Queen Sphene is unique in her ability to appear before you. Strictly speaking, I am self not an endless. They are created using memories extracted from a soul, but my entire soul was placed in a machine. Being inside the machine makes you different? How? While I do not understand the finer points, my life is bound to this vessel. If it breaks down, then it would be over for me. Much like a being of flesh and blood. Hardly an endless, unchanging life. I'm sure you'll agree. And an endless, unchanging life, I can't help but be reminded of the ear. Did Kachia and the others know about all this? Considering their extensive intelligence gathering, I'd be surprised if they didn't. But now let's share what we've learned of Kral and Draha. I can't help but have misgivings about this.
Nahe, is that you?
Good gods, Ellen Nespia! It's been too long, my friend. Where have you been all these years? What have you been doing with yourself? Hold on. They say Queen Sphene has guests from outside the barrier. That's you, I gather?
It seems so. I'm looking for my mother. Do you know where she is?
Your mother? Sorry, but what was she like again?
What? It's Kafkiwa. You know, the one who was too adventurous by half? Who journeyed with the Dawn Servant?
It's not ringing any bells.
You can't be serious. Ours was a tiny little village. Surely you remember her.
I really don't. It's all a blank.
Is anyone else here from the village?
Hey!
Huh? Elenespia?
I'm looking for Kafkiwa. Where is she?
What's this all of a sudden? Who's Kafkiwa?
This cannot be. The memories of the departed are taken away. No.
Nestor, where are you? The others will be here soon, so hurry back, won't you? Do you hear me? Say something, would you?
I thought we already worked that out. He's been a bit dumb, Erinsville, if he didn't think that that was what had happened. I know she said that she was real, but come on now. Although the mood has became a tad subdued at the end, I thoroughly enjoyed our repast together. We did tour this. To hear about the endless was something of a shock, but we likewise enjoyed your company. Above all, I'm glad that you and I could talk. Good Lord, Jarl. We're going to get along great, I just know it. You think so? Ha ha ha. I'm happy for you, my boy. Now then, I presume you'll be returning to Everkeep? Permit me to accompany you at least part of the way. About Sphene. It doesn't matter to me if she's an endless, whether she's alive like you and me or not. I've seen enough to show she has a good heart. What worries me is the burden she bears. We still don't know what it is. I expect there are things she can't tell us. Not if Zoral are watching. But at the very least, I'd like to know what the endless are to her. Sorry, I didn't mean to delay us. I just felt the urge to share my thoughts with you. Oh, on the way back, let's make a quick stop at the Drift Towns. I want to tell Tapu how it went. Ah, you are returned. Were you able to find Galuljar? You were, thanks to you. All's well with the boy. I'm relieved to hear that. And to know that he has family who worries for him. Galuljar, too, must be glad. Eh, I hope so. I'll try not to rush or force or anything, though. It's for him to decide what I am to him. My, what a pleasant surprise it is to meet you in these parts. Sphene, what are you doing here? Visiting my people. Are you doing the same, perchance? I suppose we are, yes. Listen, there's something we'd like to talk to you about. Could we have a word in private? So you know about the Endless? While we may not discuss it openly, my people will have surely noticed that I haven't changed for hundreds of years. I've made no attempt to conceal my nature. If I may ask, though, who was it that told you about the Endless? Only a few should be familiar with the concept. I'm afraid I can't say. I bear no ill will towards the mystery individual. Lest that be your concern, I'm merely curious. Tell me, Sphene, you care for your people as that much as plain, and I assume you care for the Endless too. Earlier in Everkeep, there was something that you wanted to tell us. Was it to do with them? The Endless are as dear to me as my living citizens. They are as much my family, but they can only be sustained by meeting certain exacting requirements. Thus far we've managed to do so, but should more people die, I fear we would be pushed beyond our limit. Their preservation demands vast amounts of energy. Energy? I don't understand the works of it all, but is there something we could do to help? Then, would you be willing to become Alexandrian citizens? What? I have my nation, my people to protect. I can't just become Alexandrian. Indeed, I suppose you cannot. First you tell us to make peace, then you tell us to go home. What exactly is it that you want? Same as you, of course, to protect my people. That I cannot say. I do not ask you that you understand or like me, but I wish... I wish we had been born on the same side of it. Hey, what do you mean by that? Wait, Sphene. Damn it! Well, I think we've kept everyone waiting long enough. Let's continue on to Everkeep. And let's not tell Otis about that conversation with Sphene. I don't want to risk him causing him pain.
Why don't you come with us? You might get to see Sphene.
I have to stop after this cutscene. Maintenance is going to start in 10 minutes.
Much appreciated offer, but I must decline. A part of me longs for an audience with Her Majesty, it is true. Yet, though it be in my previous life, I failed to protect my queen. I couldn't bear to show my face before her. And such an uncomely one besides.
All right. If that's how you feel, we won't force you. But rest assured, we'll visit with Gulolja, and we hope you'll cook for us again.
It would be my pleasure. You are welcome to bring other comrades should you so desire. The more the merrier.
I've been looking all over for you. Nostalgia, was it? What's the matter? It's Zeralja. He marches to Vanguard.
So he's done waiting. But why weren't we alerted sooner?
Our transmissions are being jammed. The lookouts couldn't get through to us. Ayakwe is at Vanguard too, but I can't reach her. What are we to do?
Stay calm. Kafkiwa has yet to be alerted, yes? Take her to the back room as fast as you can.
Our link pearls may still work. I'll try contacting those in Tuliolo.
Otis, I need you to keep Guloja safe.
You needn't ask.
I want to go with you.
Absolutely not. A battle's no place for you.
Guruja, the people of the outskirts must be evacuated. For this crucial task, I require your assistance. Remember, when battle is at hand, anything can happen. Caution is as valuable as any blade.
Yes, sir.
I managed to get hold of Alphano. He'll inform Kona.
Good. How's the situation in Tulichola?
There's nothing to worry about, or so my brother assured me. With such short notice, though, I doubt they'll be fully prepared.
They'll be ready, I'm sure of it. The vow of reason is not to be underestimated. I'm coming, Soralja. And we will finish this once and for all.
Right. I'm probably going to end it there because 5 minutes until maintenance. Oh no, let's get the tick off on this one. This is the moment of truth. We have to hold Soralja here. And I know exactly how to do that. Cool, yeah. No, we're not going to continue on from this point. Cool, well, I'm going to leave it there because maintenance in 5 minutes and then there's be 4 hours of no Final Fantasy, so I will stop there for the moment. So we'll be back on this evening once the servers are back up. So, cool. Alright, bye bye.